What is component scanning in Spring? This is one of the most common asked question in an interview. Whereas if you're using Spring Framework, if you have mentioned that you are using Spring Framework in your project, then they will ask you what is component scanning. Sometimes the interviewee get panicked and they get confused what this is because they don't prepare for it. But today we will get to know that what component scanning is. It's very simple. You have used it, but you don't know definition of it. So what is component scanning? Component scanning is a process where Spring will scan the class path in search for the classes annotated with stereotype annotation. So in Spring we have used couple of annotation, right? Component, repository, service, and many more. So when you're using this annotation is in Spring, so whenever you are loading your Spring application, Spring will do component scan, and you can also define that in which particular package these classes will be present. For example, here is very small example. If you could see that here we are defining that our base package is com.hackcs.example. So what Spring will do is that Spring will only look into this particular path for the classes which they need to get annotation. I hope you are understanding this. This is quite simple. One more time, what is component scanning? Component scanning is a process where Spring will scan the class path in search for the classes annotated with stereotype annotation. You have to remember this line, because if you remember this line, then it will be easier for you to stand out. Say with me again. Component scanning is a process where Spring will scan the class path in search for classes annotated with stereotypes annotation. You can also say annotation, whereas you could also give example component, repository, and service. Now, when you answer this question in such a manner, then interviewer will be impressed, and then they will counter question you that then explain me what is repository. Have you used repository? That you can watch my earlier videos. But for now, subscribe and like.